Breaking news. The atmosphere is absolutely electric inside the Detroit Lions camp, and I've got something big to share with you today. This team is hungry for glory, hungry for that long-awaited Super Bowl. The energy around the locker room, the practice field, and even in the stands is something we haven't seen in years. And trust me, there are some key moves and behind-the-scenes updates you need to know about. But hold on. Before I dive into all the details, make sure you smash that like button right now. Do it only if you believe the Lions are ready to rise, ready to roar, and ready to shock the entire NFL this season. Because let me tell you, I believe it with everything I've got. And if you feel the same, drop it in the comments. One pride, Super Bowl bound. All right, Lions Nation, it's time to lock in. Let's get into the heart of today's breaking news. The Detroit Lions are heading into one of the most intriguing weeks of the season, and there's no shortage of storylines to keep fans glued until kickoff. The matchup against the Green Bay Packers has already sparked conversations across the league, not only because of its historic rivalry, but also due to the blockbuster move that saw the Packers acquire Micah Parsons. Suddenly, the betting line shifted, making the Lions underdogs by 2.5 points. That single trade has raised the stakes, and all eyes are now on Dan Campbell's game plan to handle one of the NFL's most dominant pass rushers. Campbell himself admitted that while it's still early in the week, the Lions coaching staff will be focused on how to contain Parsons and disrupt Green Bay's rhythm. He didn't give away details, but he made it clear that the Lions will have a strategy to neutralize the new threat. That comment alone should make every Detroit fan lean forward, wondering exactly how this team intends to slow down one of the league's most explosive defenders. But it's not just Parsons or the Packers making headlines. Behind the scenes, the Lions coaching staff is drawing attention across the NFL. John Morton, for example, was heavily pursued during the offseason. While he was vacationing in Cabo San Lucas, both Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson reached out to him, Campbell pushing to keep him in Detroit and Johnson trying to lure him away to Chicago. Morton's ultimate decision to remain with the Lions says a lot about the bond inside this coaching staff. People close to him said it simply, "When Dan Campbell calls, you pick up." That kind of loyalty is not just rare, it's invaluable. It also signals stability, something this franchise has been desperate for over the years. Morton understands the system, knows the personnel, and will help keep the offense consistent with what Ben Johnson built. Fans should take comfort in that continuity as the Lions prepare for another playoff push.
On the field, another storyline worth watching is rookie wide receiver Isaac Tesla. Dan Campbell confirmed that Tesla will see the field in Week 1, not just on special teams but also as part of the offensive rotation. Tesla effectively steps into the role vacated by Tim Patrick, who was traded, and will serve as the team's number 3 wide out. That's no small responsibility for a rookie. Yet, the Lions' coaching philosophy is clear. They play the guys who give them the best chance to win, regardless of experience. Tesla has already earned that trust. Fans should expect to see him targeted this Sunday, and if he makes an early impact, it could be the beginning of a breakout story in Detroit. How often do we see a rookie step right into a starting rotation in an offense as loaded as this one? That's the kind of development that keeps fans buzzing and opposing defenses nervous. While the offense garners excitement, another crucial piece of the puzzle lies at quarterback. Specifically, who will be the Lions' number 3 signal caller? Dan Campbell revealed that the team is looking for someone who can run the offense, process quickly, and step in without hesitation if needed. Names like Tim Boyle, Jake from C.J. Beathard, Mike White, Taylor Heineke, John Wolford, and Nate Sudfeld have been floated, but the options aren't overwhelming. Campbell also emphasized the value of a developmental player, someone who could grow within the system rather than a short-term veteran fix. If the Lions do bring someone in, he'd likely end up on the practice squad rather than the 53-man roster. That decision carries weight because while depth is important, roster flexibility is equally critical. Fans will naturally debate whether the team should invest in a veteran like Heineke, who brings experience and toughness, or gamble on a younger player who might be the future. And of course, no Lions discussion is complete without addressing the hot debate around McNeel's contract. Bleacher Report's Brad Gagnon argued that McNeel is overpaid, pointing to his lack of Pro Bowl appearances and the hefty cap hit scheduled for 2026 and beyond, nearly $29 million in one season. But those criticisms missed the bigger picture. McNeel was a force before his injury last year, collecting 5 sacks from the interior and becoming a true disruptor in the middle of the defensive line. Injuries happen, but that doesn't erase the dominance he showed on the field. The Lions signed him before he went down, and by all reports, he's ahead of schedule in recovery. As cap numbers continue to rise each year, locking in a young, ascending player at a premium position makes sense. To suggest otherwise is to overlook just how vital McNeel is to Detroit's defensive identity. He isn't just another guy, he's the anchor of the line, and if he returns to form, he'll be worth every penny. Now, with Green Bay on the horizon, the Lions are facing questions on multiple fronts. Can they contain Micah Parsons and spoil his Packers debut? Will Isaac Tesla make an immediate impact as a rookie wide receiver? Should the front office prioritize a veteran backup quarterback or roll the dice on a developmental player? And is Alim McNeel truly overpaid, or are outsiders simply underestimating his value? These are the kinds of questions that make this season so fascinating for Detroit fans. What do you think, Lions Nation? Can this team rise to the occasion in Green Bay? Do you believe Isaac Tesla will shine in his debut? And where do you stand on the McNeel contract debate, overpaid or worth every dollar? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is your team, your voice, and your chance to shape the conversation as we march into one of the most exciting seasons in recent memory. And here's where things get even more compelling for Lions fans. The build-up to Sunday's clash with the Packers isn't just about one game, it's about the identity of this Detroit team in 2025. Every move, every roster decision, and every coaching call is painting a bigger picture of what this franchise is becoming. When Dan Campbell says the team has a plan for Micah Parsons, it's not just lip service. Think back over the past 2 seasons. How often have we seen the Lions coaching staff outsmart opponents with smart adjustments, especially on the road? This group thrives in hostile environments, and Lambeau Field is as hostile as it gets. If there's a coaching staff capable of crafting a scheme to neutralize Parsons' impact, it's this one. Fans know that Campbell and his staff don't just coach toughness, they live it, and the players buy in completely. Now let's zoom in again on Isaac Tesla. For a rookie to be thrust directly into the number 3 receiver role is no small feat, but what makes Tesla fascinating is how seamlessly he's been trusted to take over Tim Patrick's responsibilities. Detroit doesn't hand out roles like that for free, you earn them. And Tesla, with his work ethic and sharp route running, has made it clear that he's ready. Imagine what a statement it would be if Tesla not only takes the field but makes a crucial catch in his very first game against a divisional rival. That's the kind of storyline that can energize a fan base and ignite a player's career. It's worth paying close attention to how Jared Goff looks his way early in the game. If that trust is there right away, Lions fans might be witnessing the emergence of the next reliable target in this offense. But while Tesla's rise excites fans, the quarterback situation continues to loom in the background. Finding a third quarterback might not sound glamorous, but it's one of those behind-the-scenes decisions that can make or break a season if injuries hit. Dan Campbell's criteria were clear. Someone smart, someone who can manage the offense, and someone who can step in without the game collapsing around him. The free agent market doesn't have star names, but players like Taylor Heineke bring proven toughness, while someone like Jake Fromm offers familiarity with the Lions system. Then again, there's a strong case to be made for rolling the dice on an undrafted rookie, someone raw but moldable, a long-term project who could grow under this coaching staff. Remember, the Lions don't just think about the now, they're building for sustained success. Which path they choose could tell us a lot about how they view their roster flexibility moving forward. And speaking of roster building, the Alim McNeel contract debate won't go away anytime soon. Critics like Brad Gagnon may say his numbers don't justify the price tag, but that analysis falls short of the reality. Defensive tackles who can collapse pockets and stop the run don't grow on trees. McNeel's 5 sacks and disruptive presence before his injury last year showcased exactly why the Lions were wise to lock him down early. And let's be honest, the salary cap is climbing every year. A deal that looks big in 2025 may look like a bargain by 2027. Fans should ask themselves, would you rather risk losing a rising star at a premium position or invest in someone who has already proven he can anchor the middle of your defense? To me, McNeel's value goes beyond the stat sheet. His presence forces offenses to adjust, and that ripple effect benefits every other defender on the field. All of this builds into one overarching question. Are the Lions finally at the point where they're not just competing but setting the standard in the NFC North? The Packers may have grabbed headlines with Micah Parsons, but Detroit's strength lies in its culture. This is a team that doesn't fold under pressure, a team that has built an identity around resilience, physicality, and trust in one another. And this Sunday at Lambeau, it won't just be about one player or one matchup. It will be about proving, once again, that the Detroit Lions are here to stay. So, I'll leave you with this, Lions Nation. Do you trust Dan Campbell's plan to slow down Micah Parsons? Do you believe Isaac Tesla will shine under the bright lights of his first real test? And when it comes to McNeel's contract, are you standing with him as a cornerstone of this defense, or do you side with the critics? This is more than just another game week. It's the next chapter in Detroit's rise. Share your thoughts below, because this conversation isn't complete without the voices of the fans who live and breathe Lions football every single day. Think about how far this team has come in such a short time. Just a few years ago, the Lions were considered a rebuilding project with a lot of questions and very few answers. Fast forward to 2025, and suddenly the entire NFL is talking about Detroit as one of the toughest, most complete teams in the league. That transformation hasn't been accidental. It's the result of smart decisions, strong leadership, and a locker room that refuses to back down. Every storyline we've touched on, the plan for Micah Parsons, John Morton staying loyal to the staff, Isaac Tesla's rapid rise, the quarterback depth search, and the debate over McNeel's contract, they all connect to one bigger truth. The Lions are no longer chasing relevance, they're shaping the narrative. And that's why this matchup against the Packers feels bigger than just week 1 of the season. The NFL world is going to be watching to see how Detroit handles the pressure, how they adapt to the challenge of facing a rival with new firepower, and how they showcase